Hi. The first vaccine was introduced during the epidemic of smallpox that besieged America during the first years of settlement and traveled across the New World and abroad for over 100 years. The polio epidemic had a far less reaching toll before, during, and after the Great Depression. The main theory behind vaccines is what is called herd immunity to the population and community for the majority that is vaccinated. Today I'm going to talk about the events of the smallpox epidemic, the effects of the polio epidemic, and then we're going to talk about herd immunity. First, a little history of smallpox. The evidence of the first recorded case of smallpox is 1350 BC, although it is theorized that smallpox actually reared its ugly head prior to that. That's the first recorded case. I got the information from dermatology.about.com. The smallpox epidemic began in North America in 1633 in Plymouth, Massachusetts. According to the website kevinmd.com and his blog where he was giving tribute to the observance of President's Day, George Washington was the first soldier, so to speak, who during the American Revolution attempted to inoculate his soldiers from smallpox by actually infecting them with smallpox. In order to deal with the smallpox epidemic during this time, there were only two options. You either quarantined everyone who showed symptoms of smallpox, and then you also maybe inoculated. And again, by inoculation, they actually cut the palms of people who were not infected and infected them with pus from the actual pustules of people who had smallpox. This was very risky because the person could also have an outbreak of smallpox and also have to be quarantined. The effects of the smallpox, however, at that point were minor compared to people who caught it virally through the air. In 1796, Edward Jenner introduced the smallpox vaccine. He discovered that milkmaids who worked with cows who had cowpox and actually got cowpox had immunity to smallpox. So the first vaccine was introduced using cowpox in order to prevent smallpox. The last reported case of smallpox in the United States was in 1949, and by 1980, the World Health Organization and the CDC declared smallpox to be eradicated worldwide due to the use of the smallpox vaccine. I got this information from the CDC's website at www.bt.cdc.gov. Polio had a far less reaching disaster. It did rage on for probably a good 50 years. However, during the Depression, it became much more prevalent and much more devastating. The height of the epidemic was during 1952. There were nearly 58,000 cases reported, and there were 1,045 of those died. Out of what was left was 21,269 cases, and they were left with mild to debilitating paralysis that is associated with polio. Dr. Jonas Salk introduced the polio vaccine in 1954, and in the years since, no polio outbreaks have been reported. The information on the polio epidemic I got from poliotoday.org, all one word, and there's a history tab on there about polio. As we look at vaccines, as part of the methodology behind vaccines, is called herd immunity. So what is herd immunity? Herd immunity is prevents vaccine preventable diseases from becoming an epidemic and protects those who cannot be vaccinated, such as the very young, very ill, and the elderly. I got this information from www.vaccines.gov. In some cases, the elderly cannot receive vaccination due to poor health and low immunity and things like that, or chronic health problems. In this instance, herd immunity would protect them because the people who surround them, their family and people in their community, are vaccinated. So the spread of preventable diseases is minimal because most of the people that you surround yourself with have been vaccinated against vaccine preventable diseases. This theory would also apply to the very young, such as infants who cannot have vaccines, such as the flu vaccine and other diseases like that. Because again, they're surrounded by people in their homes and their communities who are vaccinated against such diseases. Um, Also, this methodology of herd immunity would protect those who are with AIDS or HIV, which compromises your immunity. These persons cannot have vaccines because their immunity is compromised because of the disease. There are many pros and cons to vaccines, and whether I should vaccinate or not is a hot debate today. Um, I would suggest to you that if you have health issues or young children or things like that, and you're questioning, should I or should I not do vaccines, do some research, get some facts, decide what's best for you and your health and your issues and your children and the place that you live, and make an informed decision for yourself and your loved ones. Thank you.